Hello everyone. Today we are going to write test cases for the method which have some static methods and some private methods. When we are using Mockito, we can simply write test cases for methods which have only the public methods. So in order to write test cases for some method having the static methods and private methods, we should use PowerMockito. I have created a simple project with one controller for getting the data and one service, this one service class and one implementation of service class. So let me show the response of this class. I have created a simple HTTP file and when I am going to provide 1, then it returns hello Vikram. When I provide 2, it returns then, and when I provide 3, it throws an exception called student not found. When we go to debug, we can see student not found exception. This is our simple project. Now we are going to write test cases for this method, and I go to this class and press Alt Enter, and there are options create test, and we are using JUnit form. Let's check this method and add one before method. Now as I said, we are writing test cases for this method. It has on static method and on private method, so we should use PowerMockito. Run with PowerMock. No, we have not added the dependency for PowerMockito, so we should add it. Go to mbnrepository.com and search for PowerMockito, and go to, and now we need two dependency for this. One is PowerMock module JUnit and PowerMock API Mockito, and let add these dependencies in our pom.xml file. Let's copy this and let's paste it here, and for second dependency let's copy and paste here. Let me play some music, and then okay, it has downloaded all the dependency from member repository to local. Now let's check PowerMock runner. Okay, yes, here at class. In the prepare for test, yes, class, we should define all the methods that are needed in this class. Simply the private methods and the static method having classes. Here first we are writing testing for this class. It has this valid ID with the static class, and in each classes valid utils. So we should here valid valid, I forgot his name. Get this one, valid utils. Okay, class comma, we have one class which there is one method called public private method, and its class is this student service INPL. Here we should use curly bracket for multiple classes. Sorry. Classes is done. We have set all the classes that has private and public methods, and now define this student service simple class. Since we are accessing the private method of this simple class, so we should use implementation instead of using services. Now make this okay. Let's call this method, which is create student. I give him providing ID 1, each integer value. Okay, integer 1. Okay, okay. Now since we are writing the unit test case, so all the things that we write should be only bounded in this method. It means that the test should not be go to this method, neither to this private method. So we have to mock this static and private method. If it were the public method, we can simply use Mockito to mock this static and private method. But if it was public method, we can simply use Mockito. But this method is static and this method is private, so we have to use PowerMockito. Here we should use spy. Spy is simply used for the classes that has public methods and private methods. Since we are writing test for this class, and we have to also mock method that is also printed in this class. So here this class should be used to call the real method this, and to call the mock method this. So we should use spy. If we use auto-wire, it's always called the real method. If we use mock, it always called the mock method. But here we should call this method this real method, and we should mock this method which is under this class. So we have to use spy equals PowerMockito spy new class. Okay, we have defined, and for the static method we should mock static. So PowerMockito dot mock static class validation util that class dot class. Okay, this class is already included in this class, so we are mocking the static class which is validation util class. Okay, now we are calling this method. It provides us some values, something string actual value, actual result equals this, and we have to mock all this method in this class so that this test class will be bounded within boundary of this method. So we have to mock this class, this method, and we have to also mock this method. So let's do it. PowerMockito dot when we should provide the class. Here in this case we have student service class when comma we have to provide the method name is in the form of string, because we cannot directly access the private method in the compile time. Okay, and since it's spike class, so there is we cannot call this method directly, and we should provide the argument, number of argument that are needed. In this class there is only one argument needed. Okay, I'll give it this I and one dot, then return. Say when you write one, then return, then we should return Bikram. Okay, this Bikram value, Bikram. It method extern. Okay, yes, it's fine. Then we should also mock this static method with its validate ID. To dot when validation utils dot validate ID I dot dot then true is a boolean. We upload ID 1. Suppose this is true for valid ID. Okay, this assert this result, assert dot assert equals expected, what expected. Okay, string expected value, expected result equals hello Bikram and okay, expected result comma actual result. Okay, now let's put debug in this method, this so that it will not, this method will not interact with the outside of this. It means the validation utils, validation valid ID should call the mock method. So we put debug in here so that we can verify this method inner called and from and in this also. Okay, let's run the debug the test. Let's see what happens. Test fail, class Mockito annotation. Okay, first error, no class definition found, error or Mockito annotation. Okay, let me check. Mockito annotations. PowerMockito runner before spy mock static. Okay, let's ignore this parameter. Sorry, what? Run start. No definition found over the Mockito mock to annotations mock. Let me it on annotation init mock to annotation that init mock this. Let me check for this annotation debug. Mirror record API extend listener annotation and more. Let me check once. There were the issue in the version of PowerMockito. As you can see here, this PowerMockito is for JUnit 4 Plus, and this PowerMockito API Mockito is for Mockito version 1 Plus. But as you can see in our external libraries, you can see JUnit is 4.1.4.12, which is 2.0.2 is compatible to this dependencies. And for this we can see here PowerMockito version, Mockito version, Mockito version. We have 2.15 Mockito version. For this, this is a this is only for 1.0, but here we are importing that one, so our program has that one. So for this, for Mockito version 2.14, we should use this Mockito 2.2 plus version. We should use this one for Mockito 2.15 version. Let's let it compile. Okay, this one. Let's go to our test class. I'll return it this class. This instrument, and then we go to okay. Let's debug it. Let's put debug in this method. This method should not be called because we have already mocked this method. So this method and this method should not be called. Okay, let's try. 9. We directly get result without calling this method. So here we have successfully mocked the static method and this private method. If we want to check the exception, we can simply do simply return false. Okay. We should not assert this because it will throw an exception. If it throws an exception, then our test is going to pass, otherwise our test is going to fail. We don't even need this one. Let's debug. Just pass one by one. Okay. If we remove this expected from this method level, the test should fail. And test. It has thrown this. It should not find exception. So we should put this one for this. And if we want to write test cases for this private method, we can simply use public void test get student name test. Since there are no any other methods that are called, so there is no need to mock any method. Well, what can do is we can simply call this method and return the value. Let's do it. We should call this method. Since we have spared this particular class, so we cannot directly call this method, so we have to use on class which is called whiteworks simple dot invoke method, which put a class name is student service, comma method to be invoked, and there is get student name. Sorry, I have get okay student name, method name, and arguments where it is we are providing argument. Okay, one spend integer okay, one let's take it. Okay, some throws. Then we should assign this value to particular variable, or we can simply directly check the value. Let me directly check value. Assert equals expected is for 1 we should get Bikram, comma actual we get is this one. Okay, let me put debug here and test this method. It has successfully passed, but if I provide the wrong expected value, then it's gonna failed. It has shown that expert is Suraj but actually is Bikram. Okay, so I'm going to make all the test passes on the testing class level. So by using PowerMockito we can simply test any kind of method that is presented in our class. So thank you for watching. I think that this video is maybe a bit boring. Sorry for that. Right? And thanks for watching and happy coding.